The box office reports are in, and for the second week in a row, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes takes the crown, making $36 million at the domestic box office, bringing its 2-week worldwide total up to $240 million. In the number 2 spot is the new film The Purge: Anarchy, making $28 million. In third place is the new Disney film Planes, Fire and Rescue, taking in $18 million. And fourth is the new Cameron Diaz, Jason Segel comedy Sex Tape, taking in $15 million. And rounding out the top 5 is Transformers 4, making $10 million. John, buyers sell this weekend's box office results.
I gotta sell it. The only people who should really be happy right now are probably the folks with The Purge: Anarchy. That's not a bad result. Now, Schnepp and I made a little friendly bet. He thought Purge was going to be #1 at the box office. I thought it was going to be 8, but it's kind of a split because I also thought Sex Tape would have finished ahead of The Purge, and so he was right about that. But, I mean, look, $15 million for Jason Segel, Cameron Diaz, kind of raunchy comedy opening weekend that had a pretty decent marketing campaign. I think for the most part, a lot of us liked the trailers. They didn't blow us away or anything like that. They can't be happy with that. And as great as Rise of the Planet of the Apes is, that movie's still not broken even. That movie's still in the red right now. And so a $38 million on its second weekend, while it's only a 50% drop, I took the under on the 50% drop, but it was actually 50.4, which is not terrible, but they needed it to do a little bit better. Planes, Fire and Rescue, not a great result for it. I don't think they were expecting too much more out of it, but I think they needed a little bit more out of it. Yeah, I think the only people who's got to be happy right now is The Purge. And look, we got Lucy, Hercules, Fluffy opening up. So all those existing movies are going to take a little bit of a hit. So for me, it's a sell. Amy Rose?
Yeah, I will also sell it. My biggest shock is Planes. I know they weren't anticipating giant, but it just shows that animated films are not opening as large as they used to, because that used to be a surefire bet. I mean, sequels a little less, but I mean, that was always like grand slam of the box office. And I mean, it's kind of shifting. The Purge, yeah, that's a pretty solid for a fairly low budget sequel as well.
Oh, yeah.
And I have heard that, I haven't seen it yet, that it is better than the first one, because the premise is so cool.
I'm hearing, I have not had time to see The Purge yet
and
myself, but I'm hearing really
Grillo.
good things. Yeah, I like Frank too.
And Apes deserves to be #1. I mean, it is a drop off. You're right, it hasn't made its money back yet, but it deserves. That's one of my favorite films of the year. Still X-Men #1. But I thought it was fantastic, and I cannot wait to see what Reeves and team do for the third.
Dennis?
I buy it purely for the fact that Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is #1. It is a 50% drop off, which is
respectable today.
Respectable. We thought maybe it would be a little bit less, but it's good. I mean, we had I think X-Men, Transformers, and what was it? It was Amazing Spider-Man 2 had a 60% drop off on their second weekend. So hopefully, maybe this will have legs, and eventually it should make money. I mean, it is doing pretty well. I actually thought Purge was going to do more, to be honest, because it's a sequel. The first one made more than it made this weekend, so I actually thought it was going to make more. And then, of course, Planes and Sex Tape were kind of a disappointment box office-wise.
Yeah, I buy the order of them. I think it makes sense in terms of the best movies to the the least affecting. Dawn is really great. Purge, I think, is I'm really happy about that franchise. I think in terms of all of these horror thriller franchises that you're starting and you want to make several of them, The Purge, over Saw, over Paranormal Activity, it just makes the most sense, and I'm the most excited of the different places that they can go with the storyline. Right. So yeah, I think it could have done better. Maybe, I don't know if it was the release date, right after the Deliver Us from Evil. Maybe it was too close to that. I don't know. But I'm excited for that franchise. So I hope it does well.
Blumhouse is doing a great job of taking these micro-budget things, and I believe they just signed a 10-film first look deal with Universal as well. So they're doing very, very
not
well.
a lot of people talk about him, Jason Blum. He's
brilliant.
He I think, has single-handedly brought horror back to the mainstream
Insidious,
with these really low-budget, interesting, good stories. Really knows story well, and he's doing a great job.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.